Yellow.
We present to you Rome Productions.
What's good, everybody? If you're first time viewing my content of this video, like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So today somebody wanted me to do a reaction. I really wasn't going to pay this any type of mind, but somebody posted one of my posts on their story, and they're an Israelite, all right? They're an Israelite. They're a woman that's an Israelite, and I'm going to block out her name because I don't want to put her out there like that. But she says here, I'm convinced that y'all just hate the idea of having to live by a set of order or structure or law. Y'all love chaos and things that aren't based on structure. All right, and she continues by showing a tweet. I don't know if she made the tweet or if this is a tweet that she came across, but this person says, y'all hate the Bible so much because it has rules, statutes, commandments directly opposing your way of life. Believing in it would mean that your life, your worldview, your actions would have to change. And simply put, a lot of y'all just are not strong enough for that. This person continues to say, but do realize the chaos in the world is from a lack of order. These rules were put in place for a reason. We don't follow them, then wanna wonder why the world is shit. And I'm talking specifically to black people. We follow the world when we are supposed to be leading the heathen. Again, backwards, lack of order. She continues by saying, we live in such a do what thou wilt or do what you want society because Babylon was formed out of chaos. And so when folks are faced with the Bible, they get defensive and start rambling nonsense because they simply lack the understanding and don't want to have to change their lives for the better. Oh, I ain't finna have no book control my life, but you work at a job, right? So you're being controlled. She rambles and she goes on. I'm not going to put this video out here because it's just a long video. She goes on for like 5 minutes just explaining and going on about just what I went over in my post concerning the basis of just eating. You go into hell just for eating some baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. You go to hell just for getting some baby back ribs, and some chicken fried rice, some shrimp chicken fried rice is beyond me. And we're dealing with a God that will send you to hell just for eating the wrong food. Now let me emphasize that hell is not in the Bible. Nowhere. It's nowhere in the Bible. As a matter of fact, the closest that you're going to get to a perception of hell is Sheol, which is the underworld for the afterlife for the Jews, the Jewish mythology. So even when dealing with the Bible, they didn't even believe in hell. And when you look at the words that were translated for hell, fire and brimstone, all this type of stuff, it's not even really talking about hell. It's a figure of speech. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're dealing with that perception. The lake of fire in the book of Revelations, there is really no book of, there's really no lake of fire. If you really understand what the book of Revelations is telling you, the 7 churches is the 7 chakras. And when you're talking about the second coming of Christ, it's talking about enlightenment. All that type of stuff. I may have to do a video on that, or you can just do the research for yourself. You ain't got to take my word for it. But that's the basis of what the book of Revelations is talking about. It's not talking about the end times and things to come, all prophecies, none of that. It's talking about waking up yourself. It's talking about opening up your third eye. It's talking about becoming the avatar. Remember, the avatar had to go through all the 7 chakras, open up all his 7 chakras so that he could enter into the avatar state and control it. Anyways, y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for that. But I specifically want to deal with the basis of the do what thou wilt, do whatever you want, lack of order, chaos, chaos, chaos. Because this is what other people, Israelites, Christians, people who are religious, this is how they see us for people who do not have a book to follow. We don't follow a particular deity or a god, or we don't follow after a certain book. Me being the omnious Rome, I see all forms of truth however you want to interpret it or express it, whether it's Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, whatever the scenario may be. I learned how to contribute certain principles within those particular spiritualities and contribute it to my life. Taoism, go with the flow of life. I love that. There's a whole set of things that I learned from all these different sets of spiritualities and these conceptions. When you go to school, you don't just learn one curriculum. You have to learn math, science, literature, and social studies. The same thing has to be applied when it comes to life. You have to learn these different things and you can contribute that to your life. So when dealing with the basis of doing what thou wilt, doing whatever you want in society, first of all, do what thou wilt does not mean for you to do whatever you want to do whatever feels good. Do what thou wilt means to fulfill your purpose. Do what you came here to this earth to do. Fulfill the whole law. Length, angle, and width. That is when you're dealing with your body, arm, leg, arm, head. When you're dealing with do what thou wilt, you're not dealing with doing whatever you want. Yellow. You're not dealing with that whole scenario at hand. It's not talking about doing whatever you want in society. It's talking about fulfilling your purpose. You are supposed to let your light shine so that men may see your good works and worship the Father that is in heaven. Talking about supreme consciousness. So when you understand this whole basis at hand, doing what thou wilt is where you're dealing with becoming the hero in your journey. Another thing, I don't like how this woman tried to compare, going to a job compared to living by a book. When you go to the job, you have to act in a particular way that is professional. You can't just go out there and kick back and, be half naked, whatever the case is. Like, that's your job. You're serving other people. That is totally different from you living your life to a Bible for the rest of your life. A book that was put together by men. God didn't tell these men to put these books together. God didn't tell you to live by this book. If you have the Spirit of God, you're supposed to be led by the Spirit, not by a book. Like, what? You're supposed to be led by the Spirit, not by a book. If the Spirit of God dwells within you, then I'm trying to tap into the Spirit. The Spirit has been here for infinity, not to a book that has been here for merely 2,000 years, if even that. When you're dealing with the basis of where we come from, dealing with us who are metaphysical, us who are into the occultic stuff, us who are into the esoteric stuff, us who are, who you could say atheists, or people who are into being omnists, or people who are just any person who is outside of three major religions, right? People who don't really particularly have a label for themselves and what they believe in and how they condition and go about their life. We have principles. We have order. We have balance. Just because we don't abide by your God and how you see things and by your book doesn't mean that we lack order. We ain't out here popping bottles and Papa Molly, I'm sweating. Woo! Like we not doing all that. We have order. We can think for ourselves. Logically. Really. We don't contribute ourselves to a God that would tell Abraham to sacrifice his own son to set an example. We don't follow a God that tells Adam and Eve not to eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil because they would die. But really he was lying to them because he didn't want them to grasp or grab a hold of the knowledge of knowing good and evil, because then that would set them in place on being on the equal stance of knowing good and evil as God. We don't follow a God that would sick bears on little kids. We don't follow a God that will command the Israelites to literally terrorize and kill peaceful sets of people that were just minding their business, doing what they need to do because they wasn't living according to Yah, because they wasn't living according to your God. You feel in your mind God is commanding you to kill off these people. For what? For what? That's the God you worship. That's the God you blindly follow. Am I saying there's some rules and commandments that you can't contribute to your life and that you can't live by? No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying though is, because I have a different perspective and a different viewpoint in life than you do, your God commands me to be put to death. I'm going to the lake of fire. I'm going to hell because I refuse to serve him. Ain't that the same issue Lucifer had? The light bringer, right? Lucifer being the light bringer. Lucifer being the one to tell Eve that if you eat of the tree, you're going to be dressed like him, right? In certain versions, Samael is Lucifer, right? That's who the serpent was. You serve a God that bases his whole perception of praise off of fear and servitude. You have to be subservient to him. You don't praise him because he's good and merciful. You praise him because you don't want to go to hell. You don't want to get on his bad side. When somebody questions, why would you worship him? Well, why wouldn't you? Oh, just name all this stuff. He woke me up this morning. He started me on my way. He put shoes on my feet. No, you did that. You did that. Not God, you. Y'all gotta stop living in this box where you feel like everybody who doesn't think like you, who doesn't contribute their life to that book, who doesn't contribute their life to that God, is somehow a heathen. They're evil. They're being led astray by the devil. You gotta get out of that. That's not true. That's not a reality. You're delusional. You need help. There's no better way to say it. I can't be nice about it because y'all not nice about it when it comes to the basis of how you feel on the basis of how we are. So I gotta meet your energy. I gotta meet you there. Anyways, that's the basis for this video. Share your thoughts in the comment section below upon the topic at hand. Until next time, I'm Tyrone. Thank you for watching this video. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with other people. Alright? Until next time, I'm Tyrone, and I am out.
You know I will provide that good shit for you. You know I will provide that good shit for you. You know I will provide that good shit for you. You know I will provide that. Look like Papa got a brand new bag. Any man who mad, tell him ooh fucking fam too bad. Known to spit with the coldest with no particular motive. I've grown a bit so I've noticed what phony bitches are bogus. I bring doom to any MF, I'm a mad villain. I son niggas, my songs give you a dad feeling. The groovy new emperor, known to move temperatures. Life's a bitch but she keeps sending me nude pics of her. She let it all hang out without shame. Through stories of each previous spouse about fame. Trying to remove a skirt made of doubt and clout games. Then penetrate her until her mouth spit out change. Nevertheless, they can't measure my fresh. No rest till the devil is stressed. Tell him I'm blessed. I'm smiling, staring down a barrel of fear. Any competitor